We want to hear your feature requests. Figure out how on today's Tanium Tech Talk.
Welcome back to Tanium Tech Talks. We're your hosts, Jesh Sachs.
And Alex Miller.
If you've watched this show very long, you know that innovation, that everything we release is really just directly tied to your feedback. And you have been so great about giving us all of your ideas to make Tanium even better.
And today we're going to see Tanium's new feature request portal where you can keep that feedback coming. And that's why Statia is here. Please help us welcome her for the first time on the show. Statia, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm really excited to join the Tech Talk and introduce you to our Features Request Portal, which is a direct access between our customers and our product managers.
All right, Stacia, it is lovely to see you here today. Um, and we're actually really excited to hear about this project. I know I used to work in the field with customers. We had so many ideas that were constantly being submitted, things to make, patch better, whatever it may be. And we always had to track those, follow up on them. So I'm really excited to hear what we have coming here. Tell us more about the feature request portal.
So to introduce you to the Feature Request Portal, there is a forum where you can post your own ideas. You can also search for ideas and vote on any that you like. For example, you would go into our category Endpoint Management and scroll through different ideas and vote. The higher number of votes, the more attention this will get from product managers and will show us the potential impact that this feature could have. In addition, you can search for any idea by going into this search menu and see if any ideas are found. If not, this search menu will become your title. You can add the category to apply and then enter a description. Once you post that idea, it will get submitted with your user profile for your Tanium community assigned to it.
Oh, that's awesome. As Josh already said, kind of in line, my experience was a lot the same. Based on my years in the field, I can already tell this is going to be a fantastic resource for our customers. I was actually a Tanium customer before I was on the team here at Tanium, and I was so excited about all the things I could do with the tool, but I did always wonder at the time how I might be able to, like drop things in a suggestion box, as it were, and how I would be able to follow up on those things. Could you show us, Stacia, what is involved for customers to actually utilize the feature request portal?
Yes, so as you can search for ideas, you can create new ideas. You can also track any ideas by going to your profile that you have voted on or submitted, and you can see their status. So for example, this idea here is in discovery. This means that product managers are actively investigating this idea and considering it for future development. Other ideas that are new is when you've just submitted an idea and it's waiting for moderation and review by product managers.
Oh, so that's really cool. So I guess we should have started with this, but what happens when a feature request is initially submitted? Where does it go?
So an initial submission, it will just get reviewed quickly for content and clarity. It will go to product managers, and within a week or two, they'll review it and see. If it's already available, they'll let you know and they'll give you that context. If it's not, it'll go into future consideration. From that point, we'll be tracking the votes, looking at, the interest and the comments in it. If you really want to get your idea done, a great idea is to go also on a Tanium community and kind of post about your idea, try to drive people to your idea and to vote on it. Because again, the more votes helps us understand the value that it can provide to you all as customers.
I could say I love that because so much of what I see is we have these same ideas that so many people love, but there's not that chance right now for multiple customers and users to say, "Oh, I want this thing too." Me too. Raise your hand, and that's the line we're giving, and it goes straight to our product managers. Is that what I'm hearing?
That is correct. It goes
I
straight to
love
the
it.
product managers to see. And you're right. In the past, you would submit your feature requests through support or customer success. So there were extra steps as well as other people couldn't see it. And they couldn't be like, oh, that's a great idea. That actually would be really helpful. Let me vote on it. So this will increase our insights into these ideas and the value that they can bring than what we currently have. And in addition, as we were going over, you can kind of see on demand where it sits. Is it just in future consideration? Is it in discovery? Hopefully, it's delivered.
For sure. So if I want to create a profile to start voting on things, start looking at them, how does that process work?
So the great news is that your Tanium community profile will authenticate you directly into the Ideas portal. So no double profiles, no double passwords. You can link from the button that will be available in the Tanium community, or if you come here, it will redirect you if you haven't already logged in.
Oh, that's so cool, Stacia. So I know you've already kind of mentioned this, how the community votes on particular features, but do you have an example or any tips or hints on what makes a submission great, right? So if my submission is, yeah, I'd really like a backspace key in this module, that's not super helpful for the community as a whole. So what would you recommend people include in their submissions?
You definitely want to include is more context on the problem that you're solving and the value that it's going to give you as the customer. So the more information the product managers have on just the general problems that you're facing and the issues in your workflow or in getting all your security set up, it will better help the product managers to come up with potentially different solutions or combine different ideas into one solution that's even better. Also, being really key on the value that it gives you helps us understand and prioritize, like, where do we put our development efforts to give back to the customers the most value from our product.
So me saying to Alex's point, I want a backspace button on this page, whatever, might not be great. But let's say it's a page where I want to move back in a step in the flow. I can say when I'm in the middle of this flow, I may want to edit the previous step. And I can't do that right now without starting over. So give me a back button so I can jump back and save that 15 minutes of work. That would be better.
That would be so much better. That's so
Okay.
helpful for the product managers to have all that context.
That's exactly, thank you, Jesh, for bouncing off me. That's exactly what I was trying to express. Um, so Stacia, how if I submit a quality feature request, right? I start getting people on my side, rallying the troops. How do I know if my idea is going to get worked on? I know you mentioned a couple different stages like discovery and things like that. Will I get notified if it's going to be worked on or if it's completed?
You will be notified. So having your user profile attached to each idea, as it moves through any phase, you will be notified of the status updates. In addition to being able, again, to on demand just check out under your profile the list of all the ideas that you've voted on or tracked to. Um, in addition, when you go into an idea, you can always add a comment. So you can add more context if you forgot something, or you want to add context to somebody else's idea. Add a little bit more information or flavor to what somebody has submitted. You can add a comment, and that again goes directly for the product managers to see.
Oh, and I just see that right on your screen. I haven't really played with this yet, but I see the how important is this to you? Nice to have, important, critical. That's obviously a way to let the product team know, like, hey, this is causing a huge issue for us, or it would greatly impact our lives versus, a nice to have quality of life change.
Yes, that's a great call out that I did forget to mention. This is really, really helpful. In our reporting from this tool, it helps us to analyze all this information across all the submissions and really bubble up those top ideas. And again, those ideas that have the most impact to our customers.
So you were mentioning as things move through the statuses, and I'm sure there's some really pretty fun statuses that tell me my thing is being worked on, and other ones that might not be so fun that says my idea is maybe not everyone's favorite right now. Nothing against my idea. It was a really great idea, but we all have to prioritize. So, how would someone be able to interpret all these different statuses or stages that their idea could move through?
Great point. There are always so many more great ideas and great requests that come through than we can actually develop on. And so we do have to prioritize all these submissions. What's also really nice about this is that items can sit in future consideration, like sort of indefinitely, and gather more insights and votes over time. And again, we will look at this from the product management team regularly to see if there's any significant changes. But it can sit in that future consideration for a while if it's something that we really know we will not be able to like build on, we will let you know, and it's called unlikely to implement. Usually the ideas are great. It's just, can we get to them and when can we get to them? But in a case that we know we can't really develop something, we will let you know.
I know the joke with Tanium is it can do everything but make my coffee. So if I wanted to put an idea in here to make my morning espresso through a Tanium integration, that may go into that unlikely to proceed bucket.
Yes, that one probably won't make it to the top of our list, although it would be very nice in the morning.
Well, I can tell you right now, I would really appreciate a Tanium cappuccino, even at this very moment. Um, but Stacia, this is a very public forum, essentially, right? People can vote on each other's feature requests and things like that. What if I would like to put in a request that I know is more specific to me as the customer that I don't necessarily want the world to see? Is there still a pathway to put in a more private feature request?
Absolutely. We completely understand that, like, the product that Tanium has and the services we provide sometimes, like, can have sensitive information attached. And so you can still work with your Tanium team and have them submit a request on your behalf into a private forum. It will have a lot of the same features and functionality. You will still see that idea in your private feed here. You can still add a comment that will go directly to the product managers, but only you will be able to see the actual feature request, and you can still also track it along its journey on demand or reach out to your Tanium team if you want more information. But we definitely understand that not every request you want to provide should be completely public. And so we will continue to support private submissions.
That's fantastic because I'm all about privacy and customization and options, and it's kind of what drew me to Tanium in the first place, right? All the different things you can do. So I'm glad we're still offering that type of capability through this new feature request portal. Stacia, thank you so much for showing us this new way to connect with our customers. Jesh, why don't you tell folks where they can find more info?
The feature request portal is coming online, and we're still giving away those free Converge passes for Converge 2025 in Orlando. So scoop one up before they're gone. We would love to meet you there in person. We have like a gazillion stickers to hand out. So go ahead, check out the show notes for all of those details.
I'm gonna have to pocket a few of those stickers before they're all gone. But that wraps up another episode of Tanium Tech Talks. So until next time.
Go Tanium.